How's it going? My name is Brent from Encore, and today we are working on an RX350. So we got a Lexus here. We're going to go ahead and do this half of the bumper together, and then I'll probably have another video at some point on the fender. Terrific. Well, let's get started. All right, so this is a kit cut out by Core. The only thing that we changed on it is we deleted the cutout around the headlight washer. We're gonna end up with a seam right here and right here. But I mean, other than that, this is an amazing pattern. So I mean, it fits fantastic. So if you're looking to do something, I mean, the only downside is the two seams. Other than that, it contours and runs right against all the edges. So let's show you what that looks like. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start right here, and then we're just going to kind of keep an eye and make sure that we have a decent line coming down this direction. And that'll help us with placement. So there is a little relief cut here, which is great. So we also want to kind of keep an eye on that and make sure that the relief cut is just past the beginning of the contour there. All right, that looks good. We got a nice, we're right up against the edge here. And here I went over just, I mean, it's really just right to the edge, but it is making a little bit of the bend there. Let's go ahead and tack that into place. All right, and then we'll go ahead and stretch this up to the top there. Let's go ahead. Get up there, take a look at this. Okay, that looks good. We'll come back with some tack and get that down. Oh. Alright, got quite a bit of pre-tack in there because I had to go around and look for my pouch, which I hid from myself. Alright, let's go ahead and tack down this line here, because we know when we come over this direction, we're not going to want it to pull away from here. So let's see. I wonder if we can just tack the edge around the corner there, if we need to tack a little bit out into here. Let's try this. Well, you guys just can't see what I'm doing. I told Riley you weren't in there, so.
Oh.
Yeah. Alright, so we're tacked down to here now, and then we'll go ahead and head out this direction. Okay, so our next spot is going to be back here and right in here. So actually, let's keep an eye on this one first. Kind of need a little bit more soap in my tack solution here, or slip solution, but I think part of the problem is that I mixed up some new, but the old stuff from last week is still in the hose. I find that after a day or so, it's kind of your slip solution loses its slip. So anyway, so we're right on the edge there, and we're going to come right up against this black plastic piece right there. So let's go ahead and squeegee out right here. And we're only going to come to about here because we're going to need to do a little bit of stretching. And I'm just going to stay pretty much above this seam here, or body line, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Okay, and then let's take a look at this actually. Okay, yeah, so this is going to be stuck into place. Let's go ahead and get that down. Okay, this is definitely got the old soap in the hose still, because it is super tacky. Okay, that looks good right there. Let's go ahead and get rid of some of this. Oh, there, see, there's a new soap. All right, that's gonna be a lot better. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and stretch this over to there. Right here. So I'm just staying right along the edge there, and let's take a look and see what it looks like up here. And then right here. Okay, let's give that a shot. That looks pretty good. Nice line right there. All right, we're not going to want to let that hang out for too long. And so when I come up here and I stop to hold that in, I make sure that this isn't actually touching out in the material, because if I stop right on the material like that, I'm going to leave a line on it. Or, you know, it's going to be a line in the adhesive that won't go away. Okay, so let's get, oops, that wants to fold over on itself. All right, so one of these is going to need to go down first, and I'm going to go ahead and do this one. All right, the reason I didn't want to get a stretch line here. That's why I just tacked on this line right here. And then also I'm going to need to put some stretch down into this area here. So the more material that we have to stretch at, the better. Because if you like came to here and then stretched, then you just have this much material to stretch. And for this situation, this is going to work out well. All right, so I'm just going to work my way kind of down here, making sure that this is going to line up well. Okay, so I'm going to tuck this in with my fingers, kind of hold it in place. This edge is looking really good, so let's see if we can get some of this out here. First, without the squeegee. Oh, pre-tacking. All right, and I am just going to go ahead and squeegee this out, see if that goes better. Okay, so we're down to about here. And then let's go ahead and get... All right, now let's go ahead and start working our way down. We need to stretch a little bit to get rid of this. That's lining up real good. We're right in the edge there. Let's see what we can do with that now. Okay, so let's go this way first. And get rid of some of this finger. All right, and then we're gonna bring this whole finger this way. This is kind of a mess, actually. So it looks like there's a little bit of extra material here, and that's what we're winding up with here. So we're gonna try and kind of split that up a little bit. We're gonna bring some of it down so that it's not just that big finger all by itself. And then we're hanging over a decent amount right here. All right, so this is a little bit more difficult than I thought it was going to be. All right, let's see what else we can do here. Let's see if that worked better. So once I went over it, I stuffed my thumb in there, and that's holding it down, keeping it from popping back up. I wasn't able to do it with just my finger, but my thumb seems to be working really good. All right, still wanting to come up just a little bit. And we definitely don't want to be redoing that, so I'm going to put a little bit of water in there on this one and push this down so it's good and stuck down. Okay, that looks good. Now let's get some slip back. Oh, I popped it up just a little bit. And we want to be dipped all the way in there until we get to a part where it starts coming down kind of flat. All right, let's try not to pull that up again. There we go. Okay, Now we're gonna need a little bit of stretch right here, and it's not so much stretch as it just is more letting this material float right here so that we can push this out. Just get that with our finger first, that way we don't fold it over with the squeegee. We'll take it this way and we'll kind of work our way over to here. All right, so if you can see what I did there is I kind of moved the material up and down until this part starts to lay flat. Okay, so that looks good. See how it's all laid kind of flat right there? And then we'll go ahead and squeegee down to my finger, and then we'll bring this out. All right, let's go ahead and get the rest of this down now. Got everything lined up over here. And let's get that recess down all the way. So kind of go kind of above it, and then I'm going to come in kind of from below it. It's kind of hard to get a good swipe in there. Let's get a little tack solution on that instead of water and see if that works a little bit better. That's better. All right, so that worked a ton better. The tack solution on this one. And again, I'm kind of working right into the recess a little bit. And then I'm coming in this way and just kind of overlapping in the middle. And that went down really well. So you can see the material tucks in behind this a little bit, which is pretty awesome. Although that was a fairly decent sized headache to get that down, but all right, let's go ahead and work on this part. Let's get this guy down first. We're just gonna bring this guy kind of this way. Let that start tacking up a little bit, and let's come over here and get that into place, and right about here into place with my thumb, and squeegee this out. All right, so let's see there. Be able to get that under there just a little bit. All right, let's work on the rest of this now. So we are gonna need to kind of keep an eye, making sure we're staying on this edge real well, as also we're going to need to butt these two materials together. When I butt up to this one is starting to peel up a little bit. So let's go ahead and get some tack solution in there. And then go ahead and squeegee this down. We need this one to stay in place while we bump this one up to it. Okay. Alright, this came up again, so it's gonna need a little bit of tack to keep it in place. Okay. Okay, so let's see here. Let's see what the best plan of attack is here. I'm trying to get that seam kind of lined up here. Okay, let's go ahead and try and get some tack around that. Perfect. Okay, we'll put a little bit, squeegee that out a little bit, and then let's come back and take a look up here. All right, what we want to do is get rid of some of this finger here. So let's split it up and bring some of it down here. And let's see how this is looking over here. That's looking pretty good. So let's get rid of some of this, and then let's see what we can do here with that. Okay, there we go. A little slip in there. So it looks like it's barely down here at all. So we're going to get rid of a little bit more of it by bringing it down. Let me put some little bit more here, and then we're even going to split that up as well. And we do have a little bit of a finger here. Let's see what that's from. It looks like that just is going to be there. Okay, squeegee some of this out. Line this up, squeegee this out. Make sure that the bottom's looking good. Okay, now let's go ahead and push all this down here. And if we kind of come in at it like this and don't squeegee all the way out, you can see that we've really broken that finger up. Get some tack underneath there now. We'll go ahead and take this to the edge now. So I'm going to take it just right over the edge, and then I'm going to do a little hold on that. And you can see that this actually comes over this edge and lines right up here. Right before it starts to fully wrap around, it stops. So that's, you know, that's a really good pattern there as far as coverage goes. Let's get a little tack in here. Let's also put a little bit up here. Can you still see that? Let's back up a little bit. Well, first, let's do this. Let's take care of this one. And then all the way down this edge. And then we'll go back up to that one on the top. All right, and we'll come back and pop this out just a little bit. Well, let's just do it now. Okay. Now we're able to tuck it in just a little bit right up against that edge. Squeegee all this down. Okay. Now let's come on back up here underneath the headlight. Let's get this guy down. Okay. Alright, so a couple things we're going to need to do here is make sure we don't have any pre-tacking first. And then we're going to need to stick this part down so that we can stretch this into it. So I'm going to line up down here. Okay. Alright, now that I've kind of got it in place, we're going to go ahead and lift it back up a little and get some tack in there. So that wraps under real nice. It's also going to wrap into the fog light a little bit there. You can see that it's actually designed to do that because it comes straight across here and then comes down. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and stretch this into place here. So the first thing I want to do is, because this has been sitting for a little bit here and that started to dry, we're going to give ourselves a new stretch line, or line to stretch from. It's probably a better way to say that. Let's go ahead and squeegee this out. And then this will be our new stretch point. That way we don't end up with a stretch line here because this was already dry. Alright, we're going to stretch most of those fingers out. Let's see what we need over here, or how much we can stretch. And it looks like we're going to need a solid 1/4 of an inch, so we can definitely just get rid of these fingers. It does wrap down into this recess here. Okay. Let's just keep an eye on this line right here. Now, let's go ahead and leave all this area for stretching to right here. So I got this top part into place first. I'm going to go ahead and hold that, and then I'm going to get the bottom part. Hey, Ron. Okay, I'm going to squeegee all this out. Let's go ahead and use a little tack here. This part's popping up real easy still. Oh, and this came up too. We're going to need a little tack on that. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is just make sure that we're not going over. So I'm kind of going to put it over a little bit, and then I can feel that it's going over with this finger, and then I'm going to bring it back just a tiny bit. We want that seam as tight as possible. That way it doesn't catch dirt. Alright, looks like I left the tiniest amount of water here. I want to go ahead and get out. Okay, there we go. Alright, and then this does wrap under. Let's take care of that now. And we're up here a little bit. All right, we're getting real close on this one. Wrap this part over here real quick, and then we'll go ahead and stretch out towards the center there. Go ahead and dry this out. That way it can start drying, and then we'll be able to push down the rest of this. So I forgot to mention that we also deleted this from the pattern here around the parking sensor, and I'm not sure how necessary that is anymore. But a long time ago when I started installing paint protection film, these were always like in the wrong spots. It's just easier to cut them out. Or just easier to cut them out by hand. Alright, so this goes way over to here. I'm not sure exactly what's going on there. This is the center. So this other pattern that's already on this side makes sense. This one doesn't. I don't know quite what the deal is there. Just trying to see if I could sneak in a little bit of tack solution there. Because small areas like this are going to want to move around a lot. And I'm going to be real gentle on my first pass on this. Otherwise, you're going to get areas like that where it's bunching up or you're moving it around a lot. Actually, I'm only going to come to right there as well, and I'll show you why in a minute. Okay, looks really good. All right, so we're right here, and what I want to go ahead and do is just keep close to that. Let's pull this back a little bit more away from that line. And then what I want to do here is attach this part first, or I want to line up the seam real good first. Let's see. Wow, that is super tacky right there for some reason. Wonder why. Wow. I don't know what's going on right there. Let me get something more with more soap in it. So we do keep one bottle on hand here that has more soap just in case we need it. Though to be honest, that's not really helping either, but I was able to tuck this in place really well. So that went better than, even though the extra soap didn't help. Alright, so let's go ahead and back up here a little bit and then see what other stuff we need to take care of. So I do have the edges coming up here. And then let's go ahead and get this part in. Get some tack in there. Alright, so I'm going to do a chomp here. Little slide chomp. That looks really good. And then let's work our way over here. All right, and then we're gonna bring it this direction. All right, so we've got some areas popping up here. Let's go ahead and just put some more tack in all these spots and see if we can wrap them down real well, or if they're just gonna need to wait until we do the heat sealing. Okay. So bumping it with the, call this bumping the edge. It's just going to dry that edge out and help this material to stick down. Alright, let's go ahead and get something behind here so that we can get the end of the card in there, and then we'll go ahead and put all that behind there. Okay, that's looking really good. So all that's going to be left to do is cut around these two and then heat seal. Oh, actually, that's not true. Let's get this one down. Do a little slide chomp. That one keeps popping back up. That's definitely going to need a little bit of heat, and then that'll stick right down. Let's see if we can get a little bit more tack in there. And then get this tucked in a little bit better. It's coming up again. Just gonna hold it there. All right, so you can see on the final product on this one, we've got some great coverage. It pretty much wraps into everywhere and looks really good, although it was a little bit of a headache to install in this area here, as well as we had some extra fingers here. So I'm guessing this could have been, this area could have been adjusted and so that shortened from here up so that we could have had to put more stretch on it, and that would have eliminated all these fingers in this area here. But all in all, the final product looks really good. That just the little extra difficulties with the extra material means that it took a little bit more time to install. Terrific. Well, appreciate you taking a look. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.